Greetings to all fans of anime culture. This video is paid. The price? Your like. Tell me, what do you know about bad anime? How bad does a title have to be for you to really call it such a dirty word as garbage? Personally, I've seen plenty of mediocre anime, but sometimes, although very rarely, you come across something so terrible, so disgusting, that you start to actually like it. So today I want to share with you one of the most revolting and at the same time one of the coolest anime I've ever watched. And it's called Redo of Healer. The anime begins with us meeting the protagonist named Kyaru. Kyaru is just a simple village boy, basically a bumpkin. However, the hero has a special ability. He can heal any wound. The boy is given the status of hero and taken to serve the kingdom. But not everything is so rosy. A princess named Flare cruelly exploits the hero and subjects him to torture, forcing him to keep healing the wounded. The trick is that every time Kyaru heals someone, he experiences the same pain himself, kind of like Kaneki Ken. Kyaru gradually loses his sanity and starts to devise an escape plan. At a crucial moment on one of the quests, the hero seizes the opportunity and uses OP spells that rewind time 4 years into the past. Kyaru will start all over again and take revenge on that vile princess. After preparing, Kyaru meets Flare again. She's sitting on a pony that looks like Fluttershy fell into depression after a breakup and got wasted. For Flare, unlike Kyaru, this is their first meeting. The shaggy wench manipulates the boy, bribes him with fancy goodies, and sends him to the maid's quarters, where he has some, let's say, physical exercise with them. The next day, Kyaru heals a swordswoman who lost an arm and once again suffers terrible pain. But this time, he only pretends to pass out and confirms to himself that Flare stinks. Knowing this, revenge can now be carried out in full force, and trust me, it will be sweet. Kyaru keeps playing the role of a naive idiot and refuses to keep healing people. Then they spike his tea with a sleeping drug and throw him into the dungeon, where he's tortured and, well, experimented on in other ways. He wanted to be a great hero, but ended up as a punching bag. At some point, Kyaru comes to his senses, remembering all his traumas from his past life. All this time, by healing the wounded, the protagonist was also absorbing their experience and skills, learning things like alchemy, which he uses to escape the dungeon. The guards search the castle for the fugitive, and finally he is confronted by a knight named Leonard, one of his worst tormentors. He tells Princess Flare that when caught, Kyaru mumbled something that he needed to deliver to her in private. Once alone with Flare, Leonard kills the maids in the room and reveals his true identity. He was actually Kyaru in disguise using alchemy. A lovely date between Kyaru and Flare begins. First, he stretches her fingers. Nothing strange, just developing fine motor skills. It's healthy, actually. Then, Kyaru gives Flare a choice, him or a red-hot iron rod. After some thought, the princess chooses the first option. The hero goes through a soul union with her, let's call it that, and afterwards he erases Flare's memory and kidnaps her. He places her face onto one of the dead maids, so everyone believes Flare is dead. Meanwhile, Leonard is branded a traitor, and now appears as Kyaru, though he is not. Got it? As for Flare, with her memory gone, she also loses her identity, and now falls in love with Kyaru. Everything would be fine, but the hero hasn't yet taken revenge on all his abusers. The fun is only beginning. 2 other tormentors of Kyaru remain, the sword hero Blade and the bullet hero. Not much effort was put into naming them. Anyway, he'll get his revenge later, but for now he needs money. A plague ravages the city, and Kyaru knows how to profit from it. He can create medicine using his own antibodies. First, he gives a crash course in alchemy and grinds out the antidote, then gives a crash course in economics, showing how to run a business. Seriously, why go to school when you can just watch anime? He sets a merchant on commission and goes shopping. He needs to buy a slave. Flare doesn't understand why, since she's already ready to be his slave, if you know what I mean. But Kiaru needs a combat slave to defend them in dangerous situations. After a long search, he finally chooses himself a Raftalia. Just kidding, that was crap. He picks a poisoned wolf girl from an ice clan. She can endure pain that would take down even a grown man. Aggressive, hating the world and craving revenge, just like Kiaru. From her story, he learns that her family was slaughtered by the Imperial Army, and now she wants revenge. The guy gives her the antidote with a kiss, and Flare is a bit, well, annoyed, right? The wolf girl wakes up, rages, and then calms down once she realizes she was actually saved. Her name is Setsuna. She agrees to join Kiaru when he promises to help her get revenge. So naive. Shame that it doesn't work like that in real life. Kiaru promises that after their intimacy, her power will increase greatly. I don't know how anyone could believe such nonsense. Evening comes, and they free her clan. She fights, but Kiaru has his own plan. Mass slaughter, then letting Setsuna have her fun on the battlefield. Through this, Kiaru earns her trust, builds a reputation among demi-humans, and wipes out more enemies. Honestly, I'm starting to like this guy. Meanwhile, Leonard, who looks like Kiaru but is not, is granted an audience with the king. The king understands everything and orders Leonard to hunt Kiaru. Leonard, thirsting for revenge, eagerly accepts. Rumors of Kiaru's slaughter of the Imperial Army spread, while Kiaru chills with his girls. Kiaru eliminates the remaining soldiers and deals with the greedy merchant who tries to steal his potion business. But Kiaru solves the problem unconventionally, seducing him. He tricks the merchant by selling the recipe without its key ingredient, smooth. Suddenly, one of the kingdom's strongest swordswomen, Kura, attacks him. She exposes Kiaru as a fraud and fights him to the death. The hero releases an aphrodisiac, but it doesn't work because Kura's willpower is too strong. Also, she's kind of stupid. She chops off his arm, but he heals instantly, and then convinces her of the Imperial's corruption, later even proving Flare is alive. Eventually, she joins his side. And at night, Kiaru sheathed his sword in Kura, if you know what I mean. So, the harem grows to 3 girls. Every morning, they take care of their health and do exercises together. Lovely, isn't it? Meanwhile, the Imperial Army, led by Leonard, who looks like Kiaru but is not, captures the villagers from Kiaru's hometown to lure him out. Kiaru disguises himself as a deserter and arranges a meeting with Leonard. He also learns that Leonard, in front of everyone, forced Anna, the woman who raised him like a mother, into gymnastics. Kiaru is enraged beyond measure. Meeting Leonard, he reveals his true identity and puts him to sleep with paralytic gas. While unconscious, Kiaru transforms Leonard into a woman and sells her to buff men. You can guess the rest. Revenge was harsh. Kiaru finds Anna, but too late, she dies in his arms. He can heal any wound, but he cannot resurrect the dead. Soon another redhead pest appears, Norn, Flare's younger sister, even more vile. She was the mastermind behind the village attack. The captives are to be executed in the Colosseum, forced to fight monsters. Kiaru jumps right into the arena, slaughters Imperial soldiers, and repeats healing as he kills them. Free healthcare has gotten brutal lately. After destroying the barriers and revealing the villagers were poisoned anyway, Flare broadcasts a giant hologram to expose the Empire's crimes, urging rebellion. Kiaru spares a 12-year-old boy from the village, entrusting him to a merchant, knowing he'll grow up to seek revenge, something Kiaru considers noble. They part ways with Kura and head toward Branica, a city where humans and demons live together. At an inn, they meet a girl named Eve, last of the Black Wings, future demon lord. She seeks revenge, naturally. They save her, strike a deal, and Kiaru gives her his antibodies. His harem now reaches 4. Soon, Norn enters Branica, accompanied by Blade, the sword hero. To get revenge, Kiaru disguises himself as a woman, lets Blade abduct him, then defeats her and subjects her to a humiliating punishment fitting her character. In the end, she's eaten. A fairy tale, indeed.
Kiaru later acquires the weapons of the gods, unleashes carnage against Imperial troops, and Flair once again streams propaganda to turn soldiers against the Empire. Finally, he confronts Norn, defeats her guard Haikai, and enslaves Norn. The hero saves Bronica citizens, and his harem expands again. But more trials await. Kiaru still has to settle the score with Bullet and overthrow the kingdom's tyranny. He walks into the sunset cheerful as ever. And you know what? Honestly, I liked it. Really. Despite the mental trauma I got while watching, the anime is pretty damn cool, right?
Thank you for watching, Sunshine. I hope you're doing well. There are plenty more videos ahead. See you soon, Sunshine. Bye.